What is up, awesome people, and welcome back to Wi-Fi Wednesday shenanigans. In tonight's Wi-Fi Wednesday, I have for you a Sandstorm PU team. So again, this is kind of going with the whole weathery themed teamish teams I've been doing for PU, and it has actually been quite fun. Unfortunately, last week I was attempting a hail team, but that was the biggest disaster I think I've ever done in a while now. So I've left the hail theme team for now because I'm still trying to figure out how to get around my major common weaknesses, which is fighting, fire, steel, rock. Bloody hell, stealth rocks definitely rock my world there. Anyways, for tonight's Wi-Fi Wednesday, I'm up against Jason. This was conducted over on Pip Knight's chat. Hopefully I'll leave a link in the description below for that, otherwise it'll be over on Pip Knight's channel. So if you want to check that out, me and myself and Pip Knight are usually over on there, either chatting or looking for battles, so if you're interested in that, make sure to check that out. So this was up against a patron as well. So this was a really interesting team, and he was actually featured on Pip Knight's channel as well with the exact same team, and good old me never really pays attention to any of those battles, so this was quite interesting. So without further ado, let's jump into the battles. So first thing I had to note was that Golduck I knew it was going to be annoying, but I'll leave that for now because otherwise it may be major spoilers. So anyways, they're going to lead with the Golduck as I thought he might, and I lead with my Hippopotamus mainly for the sand stream. It does have the smooth rock to increase the sandstorm from 5 to 8 turns, so I'm thinking he's going to go for a waterfall here. So I'm going to go into my Cradilly, which has the storm drain, boost my special attack by 1 if that's the case, but unfortunately he goes for the rain dance because it's pretty obvious he hates sand. Plus, Golduck does have Swift Swim, so it's going to double its speed, which might be a bit of a pain in the rear side if I'm not too careful about that. So anyways, it goes for the cross top, it misses. I go for Toxic, I miss. It's like, oh, that's fantastic. He goes for cross top, that misses. I go for a cover, that fails. It's like, oh my goodness, that was an awesome 2 turns for this battle. So anyways, he goes for Zen Headbutt. That's going to do very little to Cradilly because I am max health, max defense, and the remaining 4 EVs and special defense. So Toxic finally lands, which is great. Poisons the Golduck. I'm like, this will be handy. I can slowly whittle away this Golduck's health because I'm only carrying Earth Power as my only move on this set. I originally was going to put Giga Drain on this set, but I kind of need to put Recover on this set because it is a tank, and I don't really have recovery tanks on this team at all, so I needed something. So I think I'm going to Survivor here, and because I don't like the rain, and this whole team relies on Sandstorm, except for Cradilly, I'm going to put the Sandstorm back up there, so it's only going to be 5 turns of sand, plus the sand residual damage is going to be nice as well, doing a little bit of damage there to Survivor. So I'm thinking, why is he sending in Survivor? Is it going to be choiced in a way? Choice Specs, Choice Scarfed. So it's going to go for Sludge Bomb, which is going to do a decent amount to Cradilly. I'm assuming from that damage it's Choice Scarfed. So Earth Power there because I'm not any investment in special attack at all. It's going to do a decent amount there to Survivor, bring it down to 3/4 damage there, about quarter health left, very low orange there, leftover recovery there with the Cradilly, and because I'm not really too sure what the Survivor is, I'm just going to swap out, and if they are choice, I can go into Pro Pass and resist that very well, which it does go for another Sludge Bomb, so it is telling me it is choiced. I'm assuming it's Choice Scarf, which is pretty common for Survivor. So it lays in the Survivor because I'm thinking it's probably going to be fodder, but I went for Discharge regardless, just in case he did swap. So yeah, I'm assuming the Survivor was fodder because there wasn't really too much Survivor could really do to this team, especially with Pro Pass hanging around. So the Stantler comes in, goes for Intimidate, which doesn't really bother me at all, but I'm like, Stantler usually carries Jump Kick, and this is the special defensive Pro Pass that's gonna really hurt me if it is running Jump Kick. So I go into my Cradilly again since it is my defensive wall. Jump Kick does a lot of damage there, regardless of me being a defensive wall, and my Sandstorm disappears. I'm like, oh, this Focus Sash, this is gonna be a bit rough. So I'm assuming, judging from that damage, it might actually be Choice Banded, so I'm gonna swap out there. Because reasons, and I go into my Hippopotamus, that's why, because Hippopotamus is also max health, max defense as well, but it's not running Everlight, so it's not going to be as bulky in my defense as I'd like. So it goes for another Jump Kick, so I'm like, this will definitely tell if it's Choice Banded or not. So I did very minimal damage there to the Hippopotamus, so I'm thinking maybe it's not Choice Banded. So they swap out there, so I don't know, it's quite interesting. I thought it might have been Choice Banded, but swapping out thinking I might go for Earthquake or something, but I went for a Stealth Rock instead, so it's not very often I carry Stealth Rock on any of my teams, but I thought Stealth Rock might be pretty handy on Hippopotamus. I kind of do want it to die and then have the Sandstorm up, so I'm not wasting any turns mucking around with Hippopotamus with losing turns of sand. Anyways, I go for Brave Bird, but I'm like, I'm definitely going to live that. but I don't live it because of a crit, and that was actually a major turning point in the battle because I was actually going to go for revenge there, And I'm assuming it would have dealt enough damage to me without the crit that it would have been enough for me to take it out with revenge. But anyways, that's just spilt milk. No point crying over it. Anyway, Statline comes in, I go for the Facade. I'm like, even with our non-boosted Facade, I should be able to kill it, and I do, thanks to Statline's massive attack stat. So this is obviously the Stand Rush, Toxic Orb, Facade set. Very, very, very strong indeed. So they go into Muddy and I'm like, well, it's probably going to have Sucker Punch or something, so this, I should be able to live that easy. But instead it goes for a Protect, so I'm like, my Spidey senses are tingling. Quick Feet set, maybe? So anyways, the Facade's going to fail there due to Protect. Sandstorm damage there on the Mighty Hina, so already some decent amount of damage there to Mighty Hina. I definitely know Mighty Hina inside out, so Toxic Orb kicks in there, so it is definitely Quick Feet. So I'm assuming it's going to Protect, Facade, Ice Fang, and probably play rough. It's usually what most Quick Feet Mighty Hina run. So as Mighty Hina goes down there from Facade, it's very mediocre defense. Definitely does not help it there. Even with an Intimidate, it still wouldn't have lived that. Anyways, the Statler comes back in. Stealth Rock damage there to the Statler. Intimidate does kick in there, so I'm now at -1 attack. And I'm like, this will be interesting. I'm not sure if Facade will kill, but I do know one move may definitely kill. So Jump Kick I live with, thanks to Statler being quite tanky as well with its health. And I go for Superpower there with the massive base power from Superpower plus Statler's massive attack, even at -1. That's definitely going to be enough to take out the Statler. And even if the Stantler was running max health or something, I don't know, it probably would have still gone down. Anyways, I'm going to go into the Golduck here. So like, I wonder if this is running Aqua Jet. We'll find out. So I go for Facade here, and it's definitely not running the the Aqua Jet that I thought it might have been running. And it goes for Rain Dance to get rid of the Sandstorm. So obviously I'm going to lose my Sand Rush ability, so I'm going to go back to 200 speed. Sorry, that's what I have at level 100. I'm not too sure what I have at level 50, but regardless, I'm going to go down to Poison there, unfortunately. So that's one disadvantage of running a non-Guts user with Facade, of definitely running with Toxic Orb. I'm not going to survive as long as I would have if I was running Flame Orb, but because I needed to rely on my other moves as well, that's why I wasn't running Flame Orb. But anyways, the Cradily swaps in, Golduck goes for Cross Drop, takes out my Cradily. I'm like, oh, this is not good. I need to rely on that Poison just taking out the Golduck. So anyways, I go into my Golem here. I'm like, I should be able to get a nice easy sweep with the Golem, given that it goes down to Poison this turn. So the Golduck goes for Waterfall, which is going to be 4 times weak. My Golem's 4 times weak, obviously. Sturdy kicks in, and my Weakness Policy kicks in. So obviously I needed one decent Pokemon in this team. Alright, so Weakness Policy kicks in, so +2 in attack and special attack. Rock Polish goes up, doubling my speed as well. I'm like, I wonder if I'm going to have enough speed to outspeed the Golduck. And as I said, I really needed the Poison to kill, and unfortunately I lived on like very, very, very little health there, very low red. Unfortunately, I did not outspeed. I'm like, damn it, I kind of was planning on it dying to Poison. So unfortunately that didn't go as planned, which was fine with me. It still went down in the end, but it did cost my Golem. So I kind of need to rely on, I think, on my last 2 Pokemon. So his last Pokemon is Ampharos, so I'm like, this is great, that's usually quite tanky, and I've got a Probopass left, so I'm like, well, usually, I don't know, Ampharos can be quite a variety of sets. So it's Power Up Punch, I'm like, oh great, it's a physical set. Just what I needed, because I'm max special defense, max health. So I'm going to get rid of this Rain. I just want to get the Sand Force going on the Probopass, and my last Pokemon relies on Sandstorm as well. So I'm like, I'm not going to be surviving very long anyway, so at least I can get the Sandstorm up now, prepare for the last Pokemon, just get this Ampharos health whittled down, and it should be enough for my last Pokemon to take it out. So that was basically my game plan from here. So leftover recovery there on the Probopass with leftovers, Power Up Punch once again from the Ampharos. I'm assuming that's all it really has to hit my Probopass. Thank God for natural bulk and defense, because I would have been screwed here. So anyways, Earth Power here for my Probopass. Sandforce boost as well, so it's going to be boosted by 30%. Deals a decent amount to Ampharos, plus it was a crit. I think that did matter, because I don't think my last Pokemon would have killed it if it was max defense, max health. Alright, so leftover recovery there from the Ampharos there brings it up just a little bit further. It is actually in range for my last Pokemon to kill it. So I'm like, alright, I need Sandstorm to stick around for a little bit longer. At this stage, I was not counting my Sandstorm terms. I'm like, please don't disappear, please don't disappear, please don't disappear. Because that Ampharos is at +3, and my last Pokemon will probably go down pretty easy to this Ampharos. So Sandstorm damage deals a little bit more damage to the Ampharos, which is going to recover it anyways with leftovers. So that's good, I can cancel out the leftover recovery. And my last Pokemon is Sandshrew with Sand Rush. I'm like, this is why I needed the Sandstorm around. So I can outspeed the Ampharos, go for the Earthquake. This is also choice banded as well, and that is going to be enough to take out the Ampharos. which is GG. Now, I'm not too sure what EVs that Airfrost was running, if it was max health, max special defense, or max health, or max defense. If it was max defense, and if I didn't knock down as much health with that earth power, thanks to that critical hit, I don't think I would have taken it out with Sandshrew. I haven't really looked at my damage calcs. But it was still interesting regardless. So anyway, folks, that is it for tonight's Wi-Fi Wednesday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said, I do apologise for last week's lack of upload for Wi-Fi Wednesday. I did try for a battle, but unfortunately none of my battles were really that great, given that it was like 4 zeros, and yeah, it wasn't fun because I had so many weaknesses that there was just so many counters to my team. So unfortunately, I couldn't get a particular upload ready for you guys. So hopefully this week's upload suffices. And at the same time, before I leave you guys, I have left a bit of a new feature in the outro. So hopefully you guys like it, and it's hopefully something I can bring back in future uploads for Wi-Fi Wednesday. So anyways, guys, that's it for tonight's Wi-Fi Wednesday. Until next time, this is Lady KrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!